What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a good day. Today's episode, I have a new possible forecasted date for when the bear market can end. Find out when that's going to be in a little bit. First, this episode will be a little bit shorter than usual since I'm filming an interview with a coin founder tonight. That will probably air tomorrow, either tomorrow or the next day, most likely tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, drop a comment down below, follow me on Twitter at bencryptoshow. And without further ado, let's dive in. Price action, non-existent as usual, 19,300. Been trading in the 19 to 20,000 channel for weeks now. I think it's about 5 or 6 weeks. So the good news is that there's not too much sellers left. The bad news is that there's practically zero new buyers coming into the market. So when are the new buyers going to come in? Who knows? They need to usually be stimulated by some sort of event, occurrence, conference, something like that. Which brings me to the possible date for when the bear market could end. So first, a little history. 2018, as I've said a few times on the channel, the extreme part of the bear market in 2018, when it dipped below 6,000, that lasted about 6 months, between 5 and 6 months, like 5.5 months. Right now, we're just over 4 months into this extreme bear market from when we dipped from 30,000 to 20,000. So the possible forecasted date, I think it could be this week right here, November 27th. Why? Because there's a couple conferences in Decentral Miami, November 28th, 29th. I'll be going to that one. I'm excited about that, and that caters to a real sort of retail crowd, which isn't said that's better than the institutional crowd, but that has a greater chance of increasing trading. Retail traders that come, they get excited, they go home, they buy the favorite coins that they learn about during the event. The institutional conferences, it's more of, let's meet, let's have business, let's keep in touch. It doesn't necessarily stimulate action and trading that day. This is a very retail conference. So, and then combined with that exact same day, November 20th, 30th, that's Algorand's Decipher 2022 conference in Dubai, which Sam Bankman-Fried surprisingly said he's going to speak at that conference. I guess he's connected to Algorand through Anthony Scaramucci's Skybridge fund. FTX bailed them out. They bought a 30% stake in that fund, I believe, a few months ago. So that's the connection there. And Scaramucci is an investor in Algorand. I'm not sure if Scaramucci will be speaking at this event too. Wouldn't surprise me if he is, but the fact SBF is, that was a big surprise. So those two events the same week, combined with that is about exactly 5.5 months into the 2022 bear market. So equivalent 2018, it would be right about here. And as you can see, the charts are going up then. So I think that week right there, last week in November, that's a solid candidate for when the bear market could finally end. I know that's another 5-6 weeks away. I wish it was sooner, but whatever. You can't force the, trading stimulation. You can't force people to get into the markets. They have to get in when they become excited enough to get into the market. What else? So yeah, as I mentioned, Decentral, it's a retail conference, very favors the retail crowd specifically. They're having some out-of-the-box speakers like astrology girl Marin Altman. It's a very rare public appearance she's making that could stimulate the planets to get in some unusual formation, which could create the biggest bull run in history. Who knows? Anything's possible. And then another reason why Decentral is a good conference, if you're in the US, there's pretty much only two really big conferences. There's Bitcoin Miami and Consensys, and then I think it's a total mistake, but these two conferences, every year they're about a month apart. This year they're only 3 weeks apart. So Bitcoin Miami, that's May 18th, May 20th, 2023. Consensys, April 26th to 28th, so 3 weeks apart. I mean, you need to go to these conferences to make connections, see your network of friends, but if they're 3 weeks apart, it sort of defeats the whole purpose. It would be better if they were spread apart. So that's why Decentral Miami appears to be maybe the third biggest conference in the U.S., so they're kind of filling the void exactly 6 months away from those two conferences there. But that is interesting how Consensys, I just noticed this, they appeared to quietly front-run Bitcoin Miami. As we remember last year, Bitcoin Miami was first, Consensys was a month afterwards, and the Consensys weekend was the weekend that crypto nuked. There was, I'm not really sure if it had anything to do with the conference. There appeared to be very negative sentiment at Consensys that event. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the people they had there, or there was also an interest rate announcement. Maybe that tied in, or I don't know if it was something about the events. But there was a very negative sentiment. So Consensys, in a pretty wise, savvy move, decided to move the event up 2 months. Now they're having it not 1 month after Bitcoin Miami, but 3 weeks before. So I think that's a good move. Nobody's picked up on that yet, except for me when I noticed that a few days ago. Let's move on. There are some coins that are pumping here. Quant, as I mentioned before on the show a couple times. This is their 1 month chart. It's looking great here, from $107 to, it was at about 220 earlier in the week. Now it's at 196, so it's gone up about 100% total in the last month, about 80% now. Phenomenal. The 1 week chart of 150 to 196. That's about up 40%. So what's it due to? Well, it's due to basically this coin. So it's been around since 2018. They pretty much all the coins have been unvested. So there's no coins waiting to be unvested that would be unlocked and then could be sold in the market. That's already happened. So there's no downward selling pressure, and then you combine that with the fact that the Quant team has been sort of quietly, aggressively on the conference circuit. In the last few weeks, they've been at Merge 2022, Corticon 2022. These are European conferences speaking. They were in Toronto for CBOS 2023, or that they will be in Toronto for CBOS 2023 in a couple months. Here they are speaking at one of the conferences. I think the Corbicon one, so, or CBOS last year, something like that. But yeah, there's no, the best possible way for a team to stay relevant, especially the bear market, is going to conferences over and over again. It only goes so far having a following online. You got to get out in person, and they are doing that aggressively. So that, combined with the fact no more coins can become unvested, that's why the price is going up. A lot of developments happening there. Algorand, this is another coin that's doing pretty well. They were kind of flat on the price action today, but this tweet here, this guy put this up. It's an interesting fact here. Since January, the total value locked on Algo has increased by 269% increase. That's the entire bear market since January. They're up 269%. Comparison-wise, total value locked on Avalanche is down 86%, and on Solana, it's down 85%. That's kind of like what you'd expect. It's probably a little harsher than you'd expect, but obviously a bear market, you'd expect TVL to be down for all the major coins. Algo, it's up 269%, so this coin is just mad developments going on there. What else? Kwon. Yeah, so Kwon did an interview with Laura Shin earlier in the week. He didn't really reveal too much. He's still not saying where he's located. Most people believe Singapore, but they're not really sure. The 67 million in crypto that was supposedly frozen in KuCoin and OKX, he's saying that is not his. I believe him. What else did he say? He's receiving death threats from angry investors. That's not a surprise. Anytime a coin has a retail, is a real kind of retail younger fan base, then they're going to get very emotional when shit goes south. That's that. What else did he say? He kind of regrets tweeting so much because he was not an anonymous character. He made the comparison here that anonymous characters who tweet 10 times a day, they can be much more sort of angry in their tweets because there's no repercussions. He wasn't like that. But he was still tweeting some cocky, angry stuff, which is fine when the coin's doing well. But then when the coin goes south, then that kind of stuff comes back to bite you, which he has learned the hard way. So there's still no word on the charges with Quant. It's still kind of he's between him, Alex Mashinsky of Celsius, and the Three Arrows Capital guys, Suzu and Kyle Davies. Quant, what he did wrong is still the mystery. No one really knows. Like, obviously, we know that the coin was nuked, but what charges they're charging him with, we're still a little bit unsure. It's a violation of the Capital Markets Act. Not really sure what the specific violation is. They charge an operations manager with using bots to manipulate the price, which I don't really know what that is or what to think of that, if that's a legit charge or just sort of grasping at straws. I don't know. It's tough to say. Mashinsky it's a little more clear with the Three Arrows Capitals and Mashinsky, obviously, Celsius was offering 16% yields, and then in the bull market, that is fine. In the bear market, it's very tough to come up with those returns constantly. So all the evidence points to Mashinsky sort of recklessly kind of gambling. He knew that they, were kind of under during the bear market, so he went with some overly aggressive trades that did not pan out well. which only put Celsius in a bigger hole, which explains their $1.2 billion hole in their balance sheet. So it's pretty clear what happened there. It's also pretty clear what happened with the 3 Arrows Capital guys. They just put way too much faith into their faulty super cycle theory, which stated that Bitcoin would not correct more than 80% again or something, which just turned out to be totally incorrect. They apparently just believed in the theory too much, and that might have been influenced by a extremely large Twitter following that Suzu had, close to 560,000 followers. For a fund manager, that's extremely high. Usually it's more like 50,000, 100,000, this much. Shows me that the super cycle theory just really got him a huge following. That might have gone to his head a little bit. I don't know, but that's why 3 Arrow, plus they had a ton of exposure to Terra as well, so that put them in the hole. But though Quant's still the mystery, no one really knows, was there a crime committed, or are they just grasping at straws, since a lot of people did lose a lot of money, 40 billion in total. We shall see. That's it for today. So I'll be back tomorrow with a new episode. I'm filming the founder interview tonight. That will probably be tomorrow. Stay tuned. I'm excited for that one. See everyone tomorrow. Catch you later.